Google Ads costs are rising every year. CPCs are up, CPAs are up, and a lot of advertisers feel like they are paying more and getting less. But the good news is you can reduce your Google Ads costs, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. So before we get into the tactical steps of reducing Google Ads costs, why are Google Ad costs rising right now? Well, there's a number of reasons for that. Firstly, more advertisers competing for the same clicks equals higher CPC. That's just simple supply and demand, right? Automation can be a factor as well. When people are using smart bidding and broad targeting, more advertisers get pushed out into more auctions. So you're basically competing against more advertisers as opposed to being siloed off in your own part of Google Ads and just competing against direct competitors. Costs can also rise when campaigns are unoptimized, particularly with the automated campaign types, things like performance max, demand gen. If you're not giving Google the right data inputs or the right guardrails, Google can basically spend some of that money lazily, quite inefficiently, which is obviously going to lead to an increase in cost. Remember, Google, like all ad platforms, has ad inventory to fill, and if you don't tell Google what it is that you want or how to get it, then they're going to go ahead and fill that ad inventory with your budget. And I think we need to just understand as Google advertisers, like you cannot stop CPC inflation. Like the general overall cost is increasing, it's going to increase. This is something we need to overcome. And I think one of the most important things to sort of transition into how to fix this is we need to reframe the problem here, right? Don't worry so much about your cost per click. It's about how well your budget is being spent, how efficiently it's being spent. It's about the return on ad spend that's generating. Because let's say you can afford to pay $20 to make a sale. If your cost per click is $10, that seems really expensive. But if you convert 1 in 2, then it's absolutely fine. And that's the direction that Google Ads is going to head in. You're going to be paying more to put an ad in front of an individual, paying more to get that click. But as the platform gets smarter, you should have much higher conversion rates, particularly if you do the right things as an advertiser, which we're going to run through, and that can make up for it and potentially more than make up for it if you do a really good job and you end up with a better return on ad spend, which is what really matters. So I'm going to go through a lot of tactical steps. We're going to start with ones that are relatively straightforward and that everyone should do, and then we're going to do sort of quick fire through some advanced ones, things I haven't talked about before in many cases, right? So the overarching theme here is that we need to provide, as Google advertisers, better inputs for Google's AI. I'll talk about how to do that tactically, but that's the thing to keep in mind. The advertisers that are training their Google Ad account to get them the best results are the ones that are going to see the best results, as opposed to the ones that are just sort of letting it do its own thing. Right, with that said, let's go ahead and dive in to the specific tactics and how we can improve things. So the first 5 points are things that every Google advertiser should be doing. Let's start with number 1, which is to tighten up conversion tracking. So make sure that you clean up duplicate low-value conversions and make sure that your conversion events are firing accurately. So when someone purchases, it's actually registered as a purchase that comes through. Absolutely make sure that you don't have conversion events firing inaccurately. That will really mess up Google's ability to optimize. I've seen it happen many times where purchases are being registered, but no one's actually making a purchase. They're just clicking through to a certain page and the conversion side of things is all messed up, and that'll kill your ad campaigns faster than anything else. You want to import any real sales data that you may have that occurs after what Google is able to track. So let's say you're generating leads. You want to make sure that you've got your CRM integrated so that you can import the data to see, okay, this person became a lead, and of these ones that became a lead, these are the ones that actually converted. Google, please go ahead and optimize for those. And you need to have, in order to do that and other things, both browser and server-side data tracking setup. Very, very important. Sounds boring, sounds technical, maybe not what a lot of marketers and advertisers are into. You can hire people to do this for you, relatively expensive, but make sure you get that set up right. Number 2 is smarter campaign structuring. So firstly, use smart bidding. Absolutely, you want to be using a smart bidding strategy. I've got information around bidding strategies. You can find a video on that on my channel. And also, don't just stick to search. Like most Google advertisers never really deviate from search campaigns. You absolutely want to take advantage of what else Google has to offer. I think Performance Max is a really easy way to break out into other campaign types. Within your Performance Max campaigns, don't just lump everything in together. Segment it out according to your different groups of target market within your audience. Okay, we're going to have asset group here for people that might be interested in this part of our product range, that perhaps a little bit older, this one here for people a little bit younger. There may be many different ways to segment out. It's going to depend on the products and services that you offer. But smart bidding, so let Google do its thing, and let Google do its thing within the context of, I want you to hit this pocket and optimize for this, because these are the people that are going to buy this product, buy this service, etc. Number 3 is better creatives. And if you're going through this thinking, oh, I only just advertise on Google search, well, I've already recommended you expand to Performance Max, Demand Gen, other campaign types anyway. And then you're going to need creative assets. For all of you already advertising on other campaign types, you need creative assets. The easiest way to produce better creative assets is to hire creators, influencers to produce them for you. These guys are good at doing it. That's how they became a creator and influencer in the first place. It means your ads look native. They don't look like ads. The ads that feature creators, influencers, they get higher engagement, higher click-through rates, and that has a big impact on your quality score. Your quality score has a big impact on your cost directly. Google wants to incentivize advertisers to produce ads that are engaging so that they're less boring, less annoying as ads, and they reward advertisers with lower costs directly. I've got a whole video about quality score if you want to check that out. Again, you can find that on my channel. Really important. This is the easiest way to do it. If you don't want to work with creators and influencers, then you can produce better creative yourself, but know that that has a direct impact on your costs. Now, I've got a ton of other points I want to run through, but first I wanted to let you know about my Google Ads mentorship program, which is designed to get you the best Google Ads results possible and provide you with the support that you need. So as part of my Google Ads mentorship program, you get access to exclusive educational resources. And we also have someone from my team, me or one of my team members, available literally 9-10 hours a day across multiple time zones. We have people as part of our mentorship program all around the world, so we've had to facilitate that, where you can just jump on and ask us any questions. We could bring up your ad account, you could say, look at this isn't quite right, I need help with tracking attribution. What do you think of these creators? What do you think of this strategy? As much support as you could ever need. You can also send messages via Slack and we'll respond there as well. It's really designed to be from my team of experts that have spent tens of millions on the platform to be able to go, oh, I've seen this before, in this scenario, do this, you get better results. If that sounds interesting, there is a link in the description. Click on that, come through to the page on the website, book in a call, and hopefully we get a chance to work together. Number 4 is to use negatives and exclusions. So regularly review your search terms report, get negative keywords added in. There are certain things you just don't want your ads to be shown for. Things that aren't going to convert, or maybe actually even worse, they will convert, but you'll end up with a terrible, low quality nightmare customer or client.
Have you ever heard the expression, the customer is always right?
You want to make sure you get account level negative keywords in there. And you can do the similar thing with placement options as well. You can exclude certain placements. If you're finding that there's bad inventory for you, oh, my ads keep getting put here, but we're just not getting good results from it, go ahead and exclude it. Nothing wrong with that. You can take control over that. Basically force Google to spend your budget more efficiently. Number 5 is to reallocate budget to high ROAS campaigns. Sounds like a simple step, but something a lot of Google advertisers miss out on. It's probably one of the easiest things to do to boost return on ad spend. So if I go into a Google ad account and I go, right, you're spending the same amount on these 4 campaigns. You do realize that one of them has a return on ad spend that's 3 times as good as the other 3. Why don't we take some of the budget from these 3, stick it in this one? You can keep experimenting with these other 3 to try and work it out. I understand you want to sell that product, service, etc. But let's put more into this one and you'll immediately see an overall account-wide improvement in return on ad spend. Right, so those are some fairly basic techniques that just about every Google advertiser should be doing. Now we're going to go into some advanced techniques. You're not going to want to use all of the ones I'm about to give. You're going to want to use some, apply those to your business. They could produce fantastic results, significantly reduce your Google ad costs. I'm going to run through this pretty quickly. I've noticed a fairly significant reduction in my video retention recently. I think it's because basically everyone's got TikTok brain. They want faster, more succinct content. That's what I'm going to try and deliver right now. Okay, number 6 is feed optimization for shopping and performance max campaigns. So most advertisers don't really give any thought to their product feed health. So they set up their products in their store. They obviously are able to create a catalog out of that you can then run as part of your Google ad campaigns. And they don't really give their product titles, descriptions, custom labels much thought. But if you actually take some time to go in and optimize those and think about, okay, how can we improve this? How can we make these more appealing? That's all data that's going to be fed through into your Google ad account and into your ads that are put in front of people. It can make a massive impact on your results. It can impact your quality score, which can directly lower your cost per click. Especially applies to shopping campaigns and performance max, obviously, which includes everything else. Right, number 7 is to prioritize high value audiences in your ad account, right? So you want to upload customer lists, not just everyone, you obviously want to upload your customer list, but also do it by value. So you could segment out your previous customers and say to Google, right, these aren't just all my customers, these are the high value ones. Please go ahead and produce more of those. You can actually tie that into your bidding strategies to get Google to optimize more specifically for higher value customers. Google needs the data to know who a higher value customer is. Got more info about bidding strategies on that video I've already mentioned, so you can go ahead and check that out. But yeah, a quick and easy thing to do might make a significant difference, particularly if you have wildly varying customer values. Some are worth a lot, some are worth a little. You want more of the customers that are worth a lot. Number 8, exclude non-buyers with audience filters. So You can build, for example, like a time wasters list. So you could set up a custom audience of people who spend, let's say, more than 5 minutes on the site but haven't bought anything. Think, oh, they're just sort of looking around, they're not actually serious, not going to take action. You could look to exclude those people from your performance max, and retargeting reduces wasted impressions. Be careful with this one. It may just be these people need more time to sort of be exposed to your brand, to your products or services, and they will convert eventually. But it could also just be people that, like I said, are wasting time. You'll know that based on your market, whether or not you want to do that, but that is an option. Number 9 is to use GA4 predictive audiences. So things like likely buyers, high purchase probability, import those into Google Ads. And that provides signal to Google to say, start by advertising to these people. They are more likely to purchase. And it helps prevent wasted ad spend on people that are less likely to purchase. This is particularly valuable if you've got a new-ish or new Google Ad account, but perhaps you've had Google Ads installed on your website for a while. Maybe you've been running ads from another platform. So you have some of this really useful data that you can bring in. So yeah, if you're in that scenario, then give this one a go. Number 10 is ad schedule micro-optimization. So the default for Google advertisers is to run ads all the time, 24/7. But you can dig into the data and work out certain days of the week don't perform well for us, or certain times of the day don't perform well for us. You know what? Let's just advertise during the times of the day and week that perform well for us. And you cut spending money on those other times. That's going to reduce your cost on wasted ad spend effectively and can significantly improve your results. Be careful with this one. Sometimes it can worsen results as opposed to improving them. So it really depends on your business. This is often more going to apply to service-based businesses, often B2B businesses, than say e-commerce businesses, where often you want to advertise 24/7, but something you can definitely do. We've got some more advanced techniques that I want to quickly run through, but first I wanted to know about Hyros. Hyros is fantastic tracking and attribution software and can really help you improve your Google Ad results. It's a software that all the big players in the industry use, including myself. I use it to track results for my own ads across multiple platforms, including Google Ads, and all my organic results as well, which is super helpful. So if someone, for example, comes through and books a call for our done-for-you services, I can see exactly where that person came from. This is particularly important if you're running ads across multiple channels or generating customers organically as well. Without accurate data, you are flying blind, and knowledge is power. So let me show you how important this is. So I'm here in my Hyros dashboard. I'm going to take a look at the data and the results that Hyros has been able to track and compare those to what I'm seeing within my Google Ad account for the same campaign. So this is a Google Ad campaign that we've been running. We're only looking at data for a few days here, but it really demonstrates what's going on. So you can see Hyros has registered 6 leads generated, a cost per lead of just over £15, 75 clicks. It's just a branded search campaign, hence why the CTR is 30%. So not a huge amount going on, but representative, right? So that's the data we can see within Hyros. If I jump over to my Google Ad account, we look at the exact same campaign, same time frame. We've got May 21st to 27th. You can see a lot of the data matches up, right? We've got 75 clicks, 30% CTR just like before. But if we scroll over, you can see that Google has only registered 3 conversions as opposed to the 6. So it's registered half the number of conversions. And I can tell you, looking at the back-end data, that the 6 from Hyros is the accurate number. And that's why this is so important, because we might look at the Google Ads data and come to the wrong conclusion, think this isn't profitable, turn stuff off when we shouldn't, but we can verify it with the Hyros data and make much better, more informed decisions and end up with better overall ad results because of it. So if you want to improve the performance of your Google Ad campaigns and be able to see exactly where your leads and sales are coming from, go ahead and sign up to Hyros. There is a link in the video description. Number 11 is a sneaky creative format testing tip, okay? And that's to test vertical video inside your YouTube demand gen campaigns, for example. And the reason why this can work well is because they are cheaper inventory sources, as in it costs less to put your ads there because fewer advertisers are optimizing for that format and that placement. And if you think about Google Ads as a simple supply-demand economics framework, well, there's supply, there's ad inventory for vertical video, but not as much demand from advertisers because other advertisers aren't really taking advantage of this. So many people running YouTube campaigns, they'll only have landscape video, or even as part of like a Performance Max campaign demand gen as well. You can add in this format, take advantage of the ad imagery that is there, and it be significantly cheaper. Number 12 is to refine your locations. So you can use geo-reports to work out which regions just don't work as well for your business, which are particularly expensive, and just stop advertising those. You can absolutely get more specific and focus more of your budget on more profitable locations, more profitable geographies, and that can absolutely reduce your costs. Number 13 is to exploit cheaper placements. So I'm a big fan of Performance Max campaigns, demand gen campaigns, but if you just let Google completely do its thing with those, you can often see a lot of your ad spend being spent on quite expensive inventory, like YouTube ads, for example. But you can actively push assets that perform better in Cheaper placement options, things like Discover and Gmail, likely to lead to lower CPCs. Now, obviously monitor that against how well that traffic then converts. That's going to be an important point. If you're using a smart bidding strategy, that's going to help Google not just go after cheap clicks that come at the sacrifice of conversion rates. So you might end up with a better overall return on ad spend if Google's going to be able to do that for you. But that's something you can have more of an influence over as an advertiser, should you wish to. And then number 14 is smarter remarketing windows. So you can shorten your remarketing windows to only target people that have visited your website, for example, within 7 days or 14 days, as opposed to a longer time horizon. These are the people that are most likely to convert. Like some of the other previous points, be careful with this one. You can see when you do this a boost in results initially, because great, we're only advertising to the most hyper-responsive people that just visited, but you might miss out over the medium term, let's say, on other conversions that would have taken place from people that, in this case, visited your website a month ago or longer ago, who are now ready to convert, and Google was able to work that out. So again, this is going to somewhat depend on your business, how fast the buying cycle is, how long does someone need to consider buying your product or service, whether or not this is a good idea, but something that you can do should you want to. So hopefully those were useful, and if there's any you want me to dig into further, let me know in the comments. And as part of this video, I mentioned my video around bidding strategies a lot and how that factors into everything, how important it is to be able to use a smart bidding strategy and potentially optimize for high value customers or new value customers and things like that. Well, I demonstrate exactly how to do that in this video here. If you haven't already, I'd really recommend going ahead and checking that out. Bidding strategy is probably the single most important setting to get right part of your Google ad campaigns, and you'll see how I've talked about it throughout this video and how it reacts and interacts with everything else within your Google ad campaign and all these other techniques you might be using to reduce costs. So go ahead and give this a watch.